There is a word that evokes fear, mystery, and shadowy death. A word that has survived the centuries. Assassin. But where did it come from? What secrets lie in its past? To uncover its origins, we must journey to the rugged mountains of Persia, to the ancient fortress of Alamut. In the 11th century, a sect of warriors emerged in the heart of the Islamic world. Known as the Nizari Ismailis, they were led by a mysterious figure, Hassan I-Saba. From the stronghold of Alamut, he commanded a secretive order of highly skilled killers. They were known as the Hashashin, a word that would echo through history. Hassan I-Saba, also called the Old Man of the Mountain, was no ordinary leader. He built a society of followers who believed in a cause greater than themselves. Their mission to bring down the ruling powers of their time through carefully orchestrated assassinations. Their targets were kings, generals, and religious leaders. These assassins were masters of infiltration and stealth. They struck fear into the hearts of their enemies, eliminating powerful figures with uncanny precision. But how did they gain such loyalty? What drove these men to sacrifice their lives for a cause? Legend has it that the Hashashin derived their name from the drug hashish. It was said that initiates were given the substance to transport them into a trance-like state, to experience visions of paradise where their reward for loyalty would await them in the afterlife. But how much of this is truth? And how much is the fabrication of their enemies? The most famous accounts of the assassins come from European travelers like Marco Polo, who wove tales of their exploits back to the West. Polo claimed that Hassan I-Saba used visions of paradise to brainwash his followers into becoming fanatical murderers. His tales would fuel the legend of the assassins for centuries to come. But from these medieval legends, a new idea was born, for the word assassin came to represent something far beyond its original meaning. From fiction to popular culture, it became synonymous with cold, calculated killers, a figure of both fear and fascination. But the real story of the assassins is more complex, more elusive than the legends suggest. Who were they truly? And why have they endured in our collective memory for over 1,000 years? The assassins were not merely fanatical killers. They were part of a larger political and religious struggle that shook the medieval Islamic world. Their actions were calculated, and they were feared not only for their killing but for their ability to strike at the heart of power. Their reign of terror eventually came to an end in the 13th century, when the Mongol forces of Hulagu Khan swept through Persia, destroying their mountain strongholds and scattering the remnants of the sect. But their legacy, their legend, survived. Today, the word assassin still echoes in the corridors of power and fear. From medieval Persia to modern politics, the shadow of Alamut stretches far. Whether a tool of rebellion or oppression, the act of assassination still echoes through our history, changing the course of nations, silencing voices, and instilling fear. The story of the assassin is the story of us all, of power, belief, and the price paid when we walk in the shadows,